Tell me nothing. Do. What up, everybody? We just trying to get everything locked and loaded. Now I can go live. Baby. Everybody like, what you doing? What you doing? If I'm out of my business. Yeah, my dog's sleep right now. Hey, tripping ain't nothing. Shoot. I have my shit. I separate. I want my shit be seen. That's my grandma's shit. Yeah. My keyframe is too high. I think I got subscription for you though.
As the sheriff said, we're excited about this case. The location was a bar named PR House. Previously, it went by the name Casa Maricoa. It's at the corner of Lake Country and Golden, about 7343.
That shit be crazy. Everybody trying to make a living some way, somehow. Mm.
We talked about it on the show many times. Everybody's doing it in this new age, except for me and people that have our senses and realize that children are disciplined. I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw this really funny skit. Don't worry, no child violence or anything. There's no child in the background. Just you guys just being funny. This is just for humor. Take a look. But if you don't expect them, so everything would look something like that. And of course, no, we don't swear at our children or anything like that. But I would tolerate my children throwing temper tantrums.
Now look,
That
that swearing at our kids, I try my hardest not to curse my kids. I ain't gonna lie to you. But at the end of the day, they gonna do it eventually, man. You just gotta prepare them for life. Teach them how to have manners. Teach your kids how to say excuse me. Teach your kids how to, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. How you doing, sir? How you doing, man? You gotta teach your kids that, man. Proper etiquette.
when I was talking about why I have zero tolerance, a zero tolerance policy on college campuses when people come to me. And why? Because I can't be your mommy. That's why I am not here to be your mother. I don't allow this whining and people throwing temper tantrums. And I have a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. People think that typically that is permissible, that you should expect that 2-year-olds are going to throw temper tantrums and throw themselves on the floor. Yeah, you should expect it, but you should not accept it. You are rearing them to be responsible adults. And so we very much believe in discipline.
Like he said, you should expect it, but you shouldn't respect it. Ooh, this lady beast. Spitting number bars.
We love ourselves a good time out of pay it.
Yeah,
It's like now that you need some me time, obviously. And I actually need some me time. So I'm going to put you in very effective parenting strategy for my son. So why I'm talking about this? Well, because the internet is currently divided when it comes to a circumstance. There's a mother that is slamming a Georgia restaurant. It's called Taqua Riverside. After they charged her $50, get this, for being unresponsive for badly children. So I'm going to ask you whose side you are on in this predicament. So first and foremost, let's just get to what actually took place. The young woman, her name is Lindsay Landman, and her husband Kyle are slamming the restaurant in Blue Ridge, Georgia. And they left a review on Google saying that the owner came out and told them that he was adding $50 to the bill because of their children's behavior. Now, they have 3 young boys ranging from the ages of 3 to 8 years old. We're also with.
No lie, that restaurant green as fuck. One, the world already fucking hard. It don't matter if you rich, poor, the world is hard for everybody. That's one. Two, this family is 3 motherfucking kids. Do you know how hard it is to control one fucking boy? And they got 3? Come on, man. Y'all tripping. That restaurant tripping, man. And they owe that family an apology and free food. They bullshit.
Children that at this table. So you can only imagine how insane the level of energy must have been, of course, when you have this.
11 kids. And they want you to control 11 fucking kids? Come on. Oh, like, come on. There's nobody can control 11 fucking kids.
Yes, there was some focus on their 3 young boys, ages again 3 to 8. Now, the way Lindsay's telling the story, she says the kids were sitting at one end of the table and they were being so good. I even commented halfway through the meal, I can't believe how well behaved they are. So I'm just going to pause right there and tell you that because Lindsay is saying that her children were perfectly behaved and her husband is saying that thereafter, while he was paying the bill, the children were escorted outside by his wife and they ran around and there was no further incident, I can tell you that they're lying. Because if you have 3 young boys ages 3 to 8 years old, even if you leave the restaurant and you go, they were mostly well behaved. They were not perfectly well behaved. So if your storyline is that your 3-year-old in a restaurant was perfectly well behaved, you just are probably not telling the truth. Least of all, when there's a boy, they have more energy. Least of all, when there's 3 boys. But that's the story, and they're sticking to it. So they're saying that they were expecting, as his wife took the 3 children outside, for the owner to come out and give them a compliment when they saw him approaching. But rather than get a compliment, they were shocked when they were told that there was going to be $50 added to each of their bills at the table because of the way the children were acting. He says, Lindsay says, that when they asked for an explanation, the manager, whose name is Tim Richter, said it was because the children were being so loud. He was also angry that they were running around outside, even though they were chaperoned by adults. They're disputing his claims because he says their children were quiet the entire time. He has no idea why the manager then got in their face and told them that he belonged at a Burger King and not at his restaurant. So again, just being a person with common sense, this owner did not just randomly decide to thug some kids and go up in their dad's face and say that they belong at a Burger King because he watched 3 saintly behaved boys and said, I'm going to pick on these kids today. Obviously, the kids were misbehaved, but still doesn't bring us to an answer or conclusion about whether or not this owner had a right to add $50 to their tab, which I want to add, the owner is denying. He says that he never actually formally charged the family. He only gave them a stern warning and told them that they want parents to act like parents in a restaurant. And that is something that I can get behind. Now, everyone knows I'm a bit of an extremist when it comes to children in restaurants. Sometimes I earn the ire of my fans when I say certain things that...
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't take my kids to restaurants until they hit a certain age, probably 5, 6, 7. But anything under 5, I really don't go to the restaurant with no kids. It is uncontrollable, embarrassing, uncontrollable again, uncontrollable. And even if you sit there and get in the look, the look will work for good 10 minutes. Get tired of getting on the look. That shit be crazy, man. Trap made me better. Trap made me better. Trap made me better. Everybody trying to fuck with a nigga, they think yeah.
Children that you should not bring your children, and you can make those assessments as a parent. Yes, are there family-friendly restaurants? Yes, of course. If you are at an IHOP, you are expecting to see children. You're expecting to hear and have children shout. If you are at a Waffle House, if you are at a Burger King, if you are at Friendly's,
Made me better. Oh, you wear my glasses.
When you are going there, you are accepting that all of you are going to be in a little bit of a more chaotic environment. I have a very strict policy. I refuse to take my children out to restaurants, any of them ever, at an age where I don't feel that their behavior is appropriate. And so typically from the age of 1 to 2 is an absolute no for me. When I had my infant child, she was just kind of sitting inside one of those wrap shirts, totally fine to take her to a restaurant because she's sleeping half the time and she can't talk. My son, from 1 to 2, I would never take him to a restaurant. Now he's starting to calm down a little bit. There might be some specially approved places. But I'm pretty militant about the idea that your children should be in child-friendly spaces. And generally speaking, restaurants are not child-friendly places unless you're planning some birthday party, you've got a private room. There's nothing more obnoxious than when you go out to a restaurant and somebody has a child that is acting completely and utterly out of control. The child, you speak to the adults and they say, well, what are we supposed to do? Never go out to eat again? Well, going out to eat, just so everybody knows, it's a privilege. It's an actual privilege. This is my radical perspective, as I said, about children and restaurants, is that it always should be a privilege. And you should be hopefully speaking to your children at an age where they understand it as a privilege. And the way that I really recognize this idea that Americans have kind of let go of polite culture, you see this all around. I recognize the differences the most staunchly when I travel overseas. When I first traveled over to England, I was an assistant, I was flat broke, I was doing some work for my boss. You just immediately, when you arrive, recognize that there are a lot of differences in the way that we are parenting our children, the way that we are presenting our children, the places that we believe that our children should have a right to. There is a common understanding and a common culture when you are in England that children should be a little bit more respectable. I'm saying, and I recognize this, even the way that the adults are dressing. You know, we see a lot of parents wearing sweatpants and t-shirts. They don't view going out to eat as a privilege, they view it as a right. And this kind of gets into a conversation we had a while ago about the Dennis Prager on
I
his
hate
show.
dealing with people sometimes, dog.
Why? Now you look at people, everybody's wearing yoga pants, everybody's shouting, everybody's angry. Even that, the conduct of individuals in Europe and in the UK in airports is something that is noticeably different when I'm there because I travel so much. And obviously, my kids are now dual citizens of the UK and America. There is just naturally this understanding that you will come.
Boy, for a black lady, congratulations, man. Seriously, Candace on. You popped up on my timeline probably like a few months ago. And since I've been watching you, you were strong.
There's still no deal from Capitol Hill on additional aid funding for Israel and Ukraine, but there is action on the Republican campaign trail. A new CBS poll shows Donald Trump remains the leading Republican presidential nominee in both Iowa and New Hampshire. Senator Nikki Haley has emerged as the top alternative in the Granite State. CBS's Skylar Henry's in Washington with more on our polling and what it actually means. Skylar.
Hey, Jersey, good to see you. Well, that poll also shows that Republican voters in New Hampshire might be more likable and reasonable than other candidates, including the former president. But he's still far and away who many think would be President Biden and get back to the White House. Republican voters are showing they're standing behind former President Donald Trump. CBS News poll shows his commanding lead, like the caucus goers at Iowa, find him to be a strong leader. In New Hampshire, he's also out front, but it's drawing criticism from President Biden and even fellow Republicans following his comments on immigrants at a rally there on Saturday.
They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. They poison mental institutions and places all over the world, not just in South America, not just the 3 or 4 countries that we think about, but all over the world.
I don't know how you take someone like that and say that they're fit to be president of the United States.
The White House said the comments echo the grotesque rhetoric of fascist and violent white supremacists. The controversy comes as a border deal in Congress hangs in the balance. Republicans are demanding sweeping new policies at the U.S. southern border, signing off on a bigger package that includes funding for both Ukraine and Israel to help in their respective wars. I don't think there's going to be some behind closed doors and then jam it through the Senate and then jam the House. That's not going to happen. But we were making some progress. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro was joined a bipartisan group of negotiators at the Capitol and to find common ground on an agreement that could see sweeping changes to the immigration system. Next week, we'll stay there until we get it done. Lawmakers have already left for the holidays. There are still under discussion.
Tyler Henry, Washington, thank you. Military term kicked on a whole new meaning, though, for a Chicago veteran. Leading us to Florida victory, always investigating and explains his battle over an AWOL accusation.
Gadsden pushes forward with a job he never expected. Nearly 40 years ago, he was flying high as a paratrooper for the United States Army.
These are the indentions from being attraction.
Scars from surgery for a broken neck after a car accident while in the service.
That ended my career as far as being able to jump out of airplanes and that type of thing. A lot of operators, the older operators, were old vets. I always aspired to do something.
Man, people don't be caring about you at no job, man. I don't know why people be trying to go all out for these jobs.
Places for the holidays.
Crazy.
Truck, it's blinded signal from the other thing now. I want you guys to see that big truck here behind me and a family that's leaning on their faith this holiday season. And really every day. In that one vehicle. Homelessness in plain sight. I went out to meet with her. So things are very difficult. Shock lives are clear, in fact. The occupants are homeless.
Place due to the fact of the inflation being so high, I wasn't able to keep up with the rent.
Vanilla Purdue has lived in this truck since May with her 7 children and 4 dogs. All of them speaking of the semi-pro every single night. Vanilla plays a physical reminder of the cramped conditions.
It's horrible. I mean, I wake up at 8 okay?
Man, where is these male figures at, man? This lady got 7 kids. It's 7 for if these kids all got the same mama and daddy, it should be one man for them. If these kids got each of them got each different daddy, it's 7 different males. And that mean it tell me that 7 male figures are piece of craps, man. That's ridiculous, dog. I understand you gonna be fucking with the bitch. I understand you niggas ain't fucking with her. But damn, bro. You start fucking with the kids too. Shit fucked up, man. Niggas be pieces of shit, for real, for real. They need to do better with themselves, cause that's crazy. Other dogs want to. Other these pieces of poop. Oh, people, man. People be that bullshit, dog. Mm, I'm like, damn, I can't get that shit to pop up. This shit be crazy. Damn.
That took place in Fort Bend County this week. Now, we do know that 16 men were arrested, including a principal. Sheriff Eric Fagan said that they will continue to make arrests. He spoke with reporter Sherman DeSell about this investigation today. Sherman, what details did he give to you about this bust?
Rusty Carolina, good evening. Sheriff Fagan says that the men arrested in this prosecution team were caught using a website that's known for soliciting prostitution. He also said that his department is going to be working diligently on this, especially since prosecution in these cases could easily be tied to trafficking. So, one of our officers. 16 men arrested in Fort Bend County for soliciting prostitution, part of an operation that operation. The details by 26 transactions were done on a covert website with undercover officers posing as sex workers. Engaged the females on the street, but over it's very seldom that you see that. They're doing it now online, using social media. One of those men, 43-year-old James Hillenberg, a former principal at Clements High School, agreed to meet up with an undercover officer at a Holiday Inn Express Monday night. They report he agreed to engage in sexual
Niggas can't even trick in peace. Right? I understand it is an epidemic. I understand about the little sex rings. I understand about the trafficking. You feel me? I understand about the trafficking, the underage. I understand about the slavery that's going on. I understand all of that. And it is wrong. And all means, go forward, attack them people. Go for them people. You feel me? They deserve to be under the bus. Now, if these women now is not being trafficked and they just selling a little coochie, paying a little bills now. If these women is selling a little coochie, there's no reason that a man should be going to jail because he get tired of beating his meat. The man beat it, tired of it weeks after weeks after weeks. Just sometimes you need a little. It's crazy. That's why I tell everybody, bring brothels back. You feel me? They need to bring them brothels back.
Some of these workers are picked in county that was in traffic. Sheriff says that they're going to continue to work on this case. It's an ongoing investigation, and because it's an ongoing investigation, that's why Fort Bend ISD is trying to comment on those particular former staff members of theirs. And you also give some tips on how to remain vigilant and be aware of your surroundings, making sure that nothing suspicious is happening in your neighborhood or in your community. Break that down in the next hour. We'll show that thing right here online and on the air. Reporting from Fort Bend, Trevor DeSell, Fox 26 News.
Man, it's crazy. You know, I got the B5 running.
Straighten that out. But I do numbers. Years. But no. $1,000. Now, they 5 legal views. So that's the thing now. No, I'm not a cat. That's why people don't have to pick them up together. They take it apart. They're trying to do the ego. Trying to see them, you know.
I know what I do. I transfer all my funds over.
Get that cat again, because see, if one of them I don't know any. I like how flag straight, but he did it cool. All right, of course he knows it. Yeah, man. He had it really down. It's so cool, man. Out now. This people don't know, but money ain't what's going on. I don't want to get in trouble. Bro, it's not right now, but right now. Straighten that out, playboy. You know what? This is the first time I ever moved in my guy lied. Yo, he got somebody to a lot of cabin, to a lot of people's but it's the first time he really admitted that he was cat. What? Showing they growing. You know, you come into the arm, somebody going for the ball. So I just gotta keep it 1,000. Flag to make sure. Keep it 1,000. That's right. Don't see that? Send me these hats. No, promo. Send me these Jones. So my ball will be kind of made. That's like saying a little run. I ain't gotta worry about long there, cause
But they go about YouTube frame rate. That's why my shit going down to the YouTube frame rate. Need to get me some chopstick, my lip. Damn. They know. Oh, I think they talking about. Oh, they're talking about that nigga Memo. They trying to get hit with that copyright shit. Mm. Damn. That shit gonna be a gangsta ass fight. Something like that.
Really? Ordering. Supposed to coming off the cup.
Track played online, so I landed early. You don't check bags, and I got some traffic. Got coffee 4 seconds ago. Let's go there, trainers.
Appreciate it. Where'd you live?
I'm a PI. I can get things. Minutes since Margaret.
2 years, 7 months, 19 days.
I look the same.
2 years, 7 months, 19 days ago, still. Look the same.
You look road worn.
Yeah.
He noticed that every time he went in having the base, it was always after a specific length.
We'll never see 17s very healthy spent home this days.
Length of minor
They still look stupid. You know what show I'm really into? Shoot, they call that shit The Good Place. I'm surprisingly, I like that show. that day was a miracle. It would be or something fight against the flood. Humanity's greatest enemy. It's like Halo. Light speed, time slowed to crawl. It was only days to remain, but an entire lifetime passed for her. And in the chaos of those final moments, we never said goodbye. Our sacrifice, worlds, things, for the travelers.
Promise me you'll find your way home. You're yourself. Give me this promise. That shit look crazy. Yeah, I knew that shit was making my shit look go bug. Ooh, what movie? Let's see. What movie? What movie? What movie? What movie? What movie? Woman jailed with Gilgo Beach murderer. Suspects say they had an encounter with.
That shit crazy. They be lying their ass off. There used to be a nigga that I used to watch, bro. These some big ass booty motherfuckers. God damn. I can find it. Trying to see if I can find it. Yeah, he did all these Dragon Ball Z ones. I'm trying to find. Where is the other dude I have followed? Damn, they ain't dropped no new content in 2 months. I know I wasn't tripping. Mm-mm. And they ain't dropped new content in 2 months. And crazy thing is, I was actually a fan of this dude shit. Crazy. How would they say you gotta just keep dropping content? I actually was a fan.
Too pretty. I'm here to negotiate. We have no problem telling them. Nuts. You're by hiding someone else. I would have it if I appreciate that. So we're like criminals. Right.
Boy, every movie now, Chinese or Mexican. Swear that's all they do now. Top 10 best new action anime. Yes, sir. That's what I make that anime.
As we start winding down in 2023, I've got to say that the year ended up being much better than I expected. A lot of big anime making waves for the past year or two make it clear that the industry is in good hands moving forward as we say goodbye to even more of the titans of the previous decade. It is a tad too early for a decade retrospective video, however, so for today's list, we're going over 10 of my favourite action titles that have debuted in 2023. Kicking things off right off the bat is Shangri-La Frontier. A new kid on the block, Shangri-La Frontier already got out to a big reception with its first few episodes. Gaming anime are a dime a dozen, and while I won't pretend that this show is the best one of them all, it does a great job capturing everyone's attention from the get-go due to its overall quality and eye-catching characters and game designs. The animation is awesome, and this is a series whose author did some thorough research on gaming. Overall, there's an air of geniuses here, and it felt like the guys behind this poured their all into it, making it a passionate love letter to gaming and the community that made it possible. And it's a plot with a goofy start that gets even better as the anime goes on. If you're still sleeping on this show by the time this video comes out, then come on, have the time of your life. Shangri-La Frontier is such an entertaining show, even non-gamers can enjoy it. However, those who've been in the world of video games will find it one of the most fun rides in 2023. Here's to a seasonal contemporary, Undead Unluck.
Oh, Undead Unluck is a
Undead
good
Unluck
series.
with our Frontier made some great first impressions coming into the fall 2023 season. I mean, I had high hopes for it entering the season, and I'm glad to see that it got the start that it deserved. What it took was a first episode and a cool opening sequence to get the anime community talking, with a compelling story and what seemed to be David Production putting in a lot of effort in making a great adaptation. Undead Unluck could be the sleeper hit of the year when it's all said and done. The one thing that I can see from holding this back from becoming even bigger is the weird streaming rights thing that also locked people who watch legally, just like what happened with Summertime Render back then. But that shouldn't be enough to stop devoted anime fans from being able to experience this fun and exciting story that gives everyone a slice of everything you'd want from a Jump series. Wacky turns of events, some top-notch action sequences, and a sprinkling of fan service that shonen fans won't be strangers to. Make sure to tune into Undead Unluck when you get the chance to.
It better be good. It better be fucking good. Cause I've been seeing it. And I've been dodging it.
Buddy Daddies comes in as our next entry. It's been said over and over again, and I'm going to say it once more. The timing of Buddy Daddies couldn't have been more intentional. The anime looked like it was aiming to ride on the high of Spy Family's ultra-successful release. It's happened before with the influx of post-apocalyptic violent monster versus human series back when Attack on Titan was the hottest thing in town. But I'd say that Buddy Daddies eventually carves out a niche for itself that makes it feel similar to its counterpart, yet very engaging in its own right. I mean, for one, Buddy Daddies as a show feels compact and engaging as a story. That largely has to do with how the anime treats some of its themes, like the child-rearing aspect and having decently realistic characters for an anime in this genre. I do think those elements are pretty strong, especially on the character development front. While its plot isn't exactly groundbreaking, it has a couple of serious moments with gravity that help balance out the ample time we have with the comedic slice of life. It's easy to pass Buddy Daddies as riding on the success of another show. Do give it a try. It will provide a different experience. Might just be the one you're looking for in a childcare anime. Talk about successful remakes. We have Kenshin 2023 up next. Similar yet different takes on a whole different meaning when it's Kenshin 2023, a remake of a 90s classic that's managed to give both new watchers and long-time fans something to look forward to. What the 2023 remake does is take the same story from the old Kenshin with a bit of modern retouch, featuring way better visuals and a story that follows the manga more closely. What it means is that it's an anime that delves more into the drama and the serious mood that the original manga's going for. Not that the source material is devoid of comedy and light-hearted moments, though. Kenshin's not that kind of show, definitely. As someone who's loved the 90s version of the
watch this shit.
The overall peppy feeling of the original, both in the legendary opening and the reaction faces, just isn't quite there anymore, and in place of it, a more retrospective and somber atmosphere. That doesn't mean it's bad, however. It just means that this is a nice retreading to familiar fans for fans. I don't quite mind the change as much. It's still got the reflective story and the nice battle scenes down pat after all. Mashal is also making quite a name for itself. It seems that there's always a market for parody anime. One which takes some familiar tropes and then turns them up to the point of self-awareness and over-the-top comedy. That's Mac in a nutshell. Looking at it, it's easy to go on a tear and have fun playing a game of who's who with everything. Mac himself reminds me of Saitama, and it's very obvious that the whole setting is inspired by Harry Potter. And while something like Seven Spellblades draws little attention to it, Mac's overall tone makes the whole knockoff aspect all the more obvious. But when it comes to execution, Maxwell had that part done amazingly. The scenes are just about what you'd expect from a show like this. And while the characters aren't unique, they all play their roles perfectly for the setting. If you want comedy, some insane fights, or simply something to remind you of the good old days of One Punch Man or Silent Hill, Maxwell will satisfy your craving one way or the other. That we're fine for the halfway point on our list. Quite a lot of anime to go, but if you've been enjoying the content so far, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Up next, we have Trigun Stampede.
Maybe it's a remake.
This isn't the only 2023 remake of a beloved classic. Much earlier this year, we had that modern take on Trigun. It ended up being quite similar to Kenshin, making something similar to the old product in both subtle and drastic ways. And that's not talking about the overall design and feel of Trigun with the decision to go CG. Trigun Stampede reintroduces original fans to the cast and the world they're familiar with, but with a shift in tonal focus to emphasize more on Bash. The character itself, his origins, and his relationships with the people around him are given a bit more focus, and it opens up a rather new perspective that I'm sure new fans and returning ones are actually going to appreciate. That's not to say that the anime has turned more introspective and carries with it a bogged-down pace. With just 12 episodes, this show remains pretty compact. It gets to the point rather quickly, and it sprinkles all those gripping moments with action sequences that were rendered pretty well for CG. Vintage anime has always been an attractive one for remakes, and I think that 2023 has been a decent year for them as far as action titles go. Zom 100 also makes it to the list.
Yeah, oh my shit right there.
This one sure takes me back to the zombie craze of the 2010s. Are zombies cool again? Well, not exactly, but Zom 100 wasted little time setting the anime world on fire. No, adding a premise and a main character more relatable to the weary, fresh one.
Zombies gonna always be cool. I don't know what he's talking about.
As a today doesn't exactly make Zom 100 zombie apocalypse story by a substantial amount. Who cares about being original when you can stand out in other aspects? You know, like having movie quality art and animation from the get-go and a very expressive and charismatic cast of main characters. There's impeccable chemistry between members of the main group, and individually they feel very loud and fun in their own ways. All that came together to push the bar on what already started a pretty enjoyable ride through the zombie-laden Japan. Zom 100 is a solid watch, definitely deserving to be one of the best. It's just unfortunate that it's a victim of production problems here and there, but with what we have right now, it's still a worthwhile watch. Why don't you check out the source material while you're at it too? It's nothing too original, but as I said with Mashal a while ago, the execution and seeing the characters in action make it a great watch.
I see it, my shit. That was that pressure.
Hell's Paradise takes you on an adventure to remember. Bright lights and the overall celebratory mood of Zom 100 aren't to your liking, Mappa's Hell's Paradise can be a pretty good alternative. Carrying the same amazing animation that Zom 100 had, this anime takes you to a treacherous island of adventure. Hell's Paradise isn't as grim as the time for all the art might actually suggest. An apt comparison for me would be Dororo from the previous decade, which also came from the same studio.
Hell's Paradise is one of my favorite anime that came out for 2023. Like this, I ain't really get a chance to. Like I had to grab bits and pieces of anime. When them anime sites went crappy,
and it blends the traditional setup with the mystical
and the Crunchyroll ain't already had nothing.
And it really gets you up. The action sequences are the best part of the anime, but it's also no slouch when you consider character building and giving us some meaningful questions to wonder upon. Hell's Paradise is criminally underrated in my opinion. It doesn't have as much presence as some of the big time from the past year or so, but it does deserve some love. It's no Chainsaw Man in terms of hype, I can say that, but among Mappa's recent works, I find this to be a very good
in my opinion,
someone getting into the medium.
This was way better. Hold on. In my opinion, Hell's Paradise was way better than Chainsaw Man. That's my opinion. Excuse me. And I actually read the Hell's Paradise manga. The complete manga. So it was actually pretty good.
How about the Ladies of the Guardians?
Ooh.
Paradise may be underrated, but I practically see no one talking about Blades of the Guardians. Chinese anime don't have public marketing to the mainstream at all, and they're completely overshadowed by even the moderate hits of the season. I'm not suggesting that all of them are great or that the best of them are better than the big hits from Japan, but I think it's also good if I can share some of them with you. After all, we've got a showcase of insanely good fight animation and action sequences from old hits like White Cat Legend. A lot of good things can be said about Blades of the Guardians. Blades of the Guardians has a simple premise with a historical backdrop, but there's something gripping in the show that would make you want to keep watching it. It could be the characters, or the way the story moves on and develops at a good pace. It allows you to settle into the world while reading the events and adventures of its era in history. It didn't take too long for me to be hooked and immersed in this anime. You should give it a shot and see for yourself too. Lastly, we have Heavenly Delusion. Remember To the New World or Promised Neverland? Well, here's a similar title, and I think it surpassed all expectations and became my favourite amongst the new action anime from 2023. Integrating good world building and engaging mysteries into an action title turns out to be quite a decent formula for success. Who would have thought, eh? And it helps that there's this uncanny atmosphere to keep the viewers on edge, perfectly contemplating the more mature themes the anime has for the audience. It's not something made to be a mainstream hit like the big action titles are, but it does more than well enough for itself, I'd say. Heavenly Delusion does have rather risque content that might shock viewers, but it remains one of the best in 2023. With enough action and an interesting world, one filled with a sense of mystery, it showcases the potential of action anime. It's not all about the breathtaking animation and loud showcases of power, after all. I get the appeal of hype. There's a lot more to anime action than those, and Heavenly Delusion more than proves it. I'm also curious to know what the best of 2023 looks like to you. So don't hesitate to share those as well. This has been a pretty fun list to make, and I hope you can check out the channel to hear my thoughts on other topics, or see how well my pre-season takes have aged now that we start to say goodbye to the year 2023. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope to see you next time.
Yes, sir.